morning, everybody. Welcome to AXDL. This is the podcast where apologetics intersects with your daily life. Now, the purpose of this show is really to get into some of the deeper topics of Scripture, areas that aren't necessarily addressed in full-on sermons. So before we get to today's topic, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Pastor Levi. I'm the media director here at New Life Christian Ministries.
And I'm Pastor Aaron. I'm the youth pastor here.
So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the idea of doubt and faith. Are doubt and faith opposite things? So the way this is going to work is both of us will take an opportunity to talk about the idea of doubt and our faith. And we're going to start with Pastor Aaron.
Yeah, so when I think about doubt and is it really the opposite of faith, I have to really break it down. When I think of questions like this, I'm thinking, okay, let's start with doubt. What is doubt? Well, doubt is a feeling of uncertainty. You can find that, I'm sure that's in the dictionary somewhere, but it's just everybody kind of feels the same way. It is a feeling of uncertainty. It's just being uncertain about something. Okay, so we know that. What is faith? Well, faith is easy. We typically, as Christians, we go to Hebrews 11 when it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the assurance of things not seen, right? So let's break that down even further. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, so it's something you're hoping for, you're not certain about, and you just hope in it and place your full trust in it, and it's assurance of things that you haven't seen. So go back to doubt. Opposite of doubt has to be not faith, but certainty, because uncertainty is doubt, and the opposite of that would be certainty, right? So To be certain of something. So when I think of doubt, it seems like it's not the opposite of faith, but more like a stepping stone toward faith. I know that sounds a little crazy, but you have to encounter uncertainty. You have to encounter doubt before you can even choose to have faith. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that when I think about it. Encountering doubt and choosing not to believe would be the opposite of faith in my mind. But doubt is almost like the beginning. It's like the crossroads where you get to choose. It's where faith becomes an option for you, where you either choose faith or you choose not to have faith, and that's kind of where I see it. So doubt, not the opposite of faith, in my opinion, just the spot where faith becomes possible, and you got to make a choice there, So that's, I
understand that. I like how you said that doubt is kind of a stepping stone towards faith. It's like you go through these obstacles to get to the certainty. And so when I was thinking about doubt, I always think of a story in Mark chapter 9, where the story is Jesus and the disciples are ministering. A man knows about Jesus' ministry, so he brings his son that's afflicted with a demon from a young age. And he brings them to find healing. He brings his son to the disciples to say, hey, my son's sick. Can you heal him? And guess what? The disciples can't do it. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a nuts story. And so then he brings his son to Jesus. And finally he says, Jesus, if you have compassion on us, can you heal my son? And Jesus says, can you? He says, with belief, everything is possible. Mm-hmm. And the father, in his desperation, literally just says, I believe, help me in my unbelief. And man, that is such a neat intersection to me of faith and doubt in the same time, at this exact same time. Because if you put yourself in the place of this dad, we're both dads.
Right.
We understand the desperation this man feels because he says that his son had been afflicted with this spirit since he was young. The spirit would try to afflict him. He couldn't talk, so the boy was mute. He would cast this boy and give him the shakes and throw him in the fire. So this little boy had burns. Said it would cast him in the water and try to drown him. And so as a dad, that's frightening. And you know that this father went through every avenue possible.
Everything.
He tried to do anything to get this son healed. And when he heard about the disciples casting out demons, he had faith in what he had heard them doing. And then he went to them, and guess what? They failed.
Couldn't do it.
So now his faith in the disciples is rocked. It's shaken. His faith in this avenue of healing for his son is just rocked.
Absolutely.
So he comes to Jesus, and Jesus says, I can do this for anybody who believes. And he says, I believe, but help me in my unbelief. And I firmly believe that, just like you said, that doubt is a stepping stone, that this father was going through that process. He says, I have some belief, but I have some unbelief, and Jesus help me. And I think that's where we see the stepping stones of what we're supposed to be doing. So this whole story to me kind of comes from, if you go to Matthew chapter 17, it tells the same story, but from a different perspective. And Jesus says this in verse 23 of Matthew 17. He says, if you have faith like the grain of a mustard seed, and you will say to the mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. And this tells us that the tiny faith produces huge results.
Oh, yeah.
We see that this man brought his son before Jesus, and he said, I have belief, but help me in my unbelief. Mm-hmm. And that makes me think of Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, where Jesus says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. The man asks for help, and what does Jesus do? He helps him.
Helps him right there.
So when we have doubts, when we struggle, just like Pastor Aaron said, doubt can be a stepping stone to faith. And even if you have doubt, even just the tiniest little bit of faith can help you in your journey towards becoming a more faithful Christian. Yeah. Because we can turn to the source who is Jesus, and he will help us. So I hope you enjoyed that talk today. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. We're excited to be producing these videos for you. If you have any questions that you would like us to tackle in these groups, and we'll be switching out pastors and who's doing these little discussions, be sure to shoot us a message. Pastor Aaron, you want to sign off for us?
Hope to see you guys at church on Sunday. Thanks for tuning in.
Be blessed, y'all.